Have you ever wondered why the greatest kings in history, the ones who ruled continents, commanded armies, and bent nations to their will, still died unsatisfied? What makes a man conquer the world and still lose peace within? Stay till the end, because what you'll hear today will make you question everything you thought you knew about power. And if even one story moves your heart, drop a comment below and tell me, which of these kings do you think truly won in the end? Now, let's begin. Alexander the Great, a name that still echoes with power, pride, and madness. Inside him burned a fire that no victory could extinguish. He didn't just want land, he wanted eternity. They say his teacher Aristotle once told him, if the world had one ruler, it would be you. And maybe those words planted a seed that grew into an obsession. He swept through Persia, Egypt, Babylon, victorious everywhere. People said, this man cannot be defeated. But then came India, where King Paras stood before him like a wall. After a brutal battle, Alexander captured Paras and asked, "How should I treat you?" Paras replied calmly, as one king treats another. That moment changed Alexander. For the first time, he realized, respect is not conquered by the sword. It's earned by character. On his way home, fever struck him down. He called his soldiers and said, "When you carry my body, leave my hands outside the coffin. Let the world see that even Alexander left this world empty-handed." And so ended the man who conquered the earth, but never conquered his own soul. Have you ever seen a king who even his enemies admired? Salahuddin Ayyubi, a warrior whose sword was sharp, but whose heart was softer than mercy itself. When Jerusalem fell under Crusader control, the world of Islam wept. In that storm of chaos, one man rose. Not for power, but for justice. He gathered his men and told them, "We don't fight to spread hate. We fight to restore peace." The Battle of Hattin became a turning point. The Crusaders fell, Jerusalem was liberated. But instead of revenge, Salahuddin opened the gates and said, "This city belongs to all, no blood will be spilled today." Even the Christian king, Richard the Lionheart, fell ill during the war, and Salahuddin sent him his own doctor and medicine. That's who he was. A man who conquered not with a sword, but with his soul. He proved to the world that true kingship isn't about ruling land, but ruling hearts. They say some men are born storms, and Genghis Khan was the fiercest of them all. Once he was a poor orphan, chained, starving, hiding in snow with his mother. But inside him burned a vow. "I'll never be a prisoner again. The world will remember my name." And he kept that promise. He built the largest land empire ever known. Cities turned to dust in his wake, but behind that fearsome face was a strange sense of justice. If even his own soldier committed a crime, he was punished. One day, an old woman was brought before him. Her husband had been killed by one of Genghis's generals. "What do you want?" Khan asked. She said, "Justice." And right there, he ordered his own general's execution. Then quietly said, "Power doesn't mean you're above justice." That day, people realized even the storm had rules. When death came for him, he told his sons, "Hide my death. Fear is more useful than news." And with that, the storm passed. But his echo still thunders across history. Can one man truly change the fate of an entire continent? Not with magic, but with faith and wisdom. This is the story of Charlemagne, the man they call the father of Europe. He was born in a time when Rome had fallen. Europe was broken, filled with fear, ignorance, and endless wars. No one believed peace could ever return. But in that darkness, a young ruler rose, who dreamed not of thrones, but of light. Charlemagne fought battles, yes, but his greatest battle was against ignorance. He used the sword only to make way for justice. He would say, "Wars are not won by blood, but by fairness." When he defeated an enemy, he didn't kill them. He sat them down and said, "I'll not destroy you, I'll teach you what peace feels like." He built schools, libraries, and places of learning. He told his people, "These children are my greatest army, an army of books." And from that day, knowledge began to breathe again in Europe. Charlemagne ruled like a father, not a king. He listened to the poor before the rich. Once, a farmer came to him, crying that a lord had stolen his land. Charlemagne ordered the land returned immediately, saying, "If justice belongs only to the rich, then this isn't a kingdom, it's slavery." Years later, when he was crowned emperor by Pope Leo, he whispered, "This crown is not power, it's responsibility." In his final years, he'd look at the sunset from his palace window and say, "I didn't unite lands, I united hearts." And when he died, the light he lit never went out. Because true kings don't rule forever, they leave behind a world worth living in. These were the kings who ruled the earth, yet lost the war within themselves. One died chasing glory, one seeking peace, one drowning in power, and one building hope from ashes. They conquered land, but not desire. They built empires, but couldn't build peace inside their hearts. If you felt something in these stories, then you've already heard what silence chapter truly means. Because here, even silence speaks. Tell me in the comments, which king's story touched you the most? And don't forget to like, subscribe, and join our growing family of thinkers who believe that history isn't just to remember, it's to learn from.